Buckle up, listeners. We're diving headfirst into the sprawling, neon-drenched world of Shadowrun, where magic's back with a vengeance and corporations hold all the keys.
Yeah, forget about 2011 being just another year.
Right, we're talking dragons waking up, megacores calling the shots, and a whole lot of chaos in between.
Payoff is a good word for it.
And to wrap our heads around it all, we're going back to the source, the first 9 Shadowrun novels. It's like piecing together a shattered mirror, each shard a glimpse into a different corner of this crazy world.
And believe me, each shard packs a punch.
Oh, absolutely. Take the Shadowrunners, for example. These guys and gals are the ultimate professionals operating in the shadows where deniability is currency and danger lurks around every corner.
Yeah, they're not your typical heroes, are they?
Not even close. They're driven by profit, by survival, by the thrill of the game. We meet some incredible runners in these books, like Cortez in Into the Shadows, navigating the deadly world of corporate espionage.
He's a classic example of a runner caught between a rock and a hard place, right?
Totally. And what about Sam, the Decker from Never Deal with a Dragon? Proves that even in cyberspace, the stakes are real and the consequences can be deadly.
Oh yeah, in Shadowrun, what happens in the Matrix doesn't stay in the Matrix.
No kidding. And that's what makes this world so fascinating, right? This blend of high-tech cyberpunk with ancient magic. It's like nothing you've ever seen before.
It's a wild mix. Where else are you going to find a mythical creature like a cockatrice locked up in some megacorp's high-security facility?
Seriously. And that's in Never Deal with a Dragon, by the way. But it makes you think, doesn't it? Magic's not just some parlor trick in this world. It's a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, it's definitely a game changer. Corporations are scrambling to control it, weaponize it, turn a profit from it.
Naturally. That's all about the bottom line, right? But what about everyday people? Are we talking about a world where everyone's slinging spells on their way to work?
Not exactly. I mean, yeah, there are awakened individuals with incredible abilities, both human and, well, not so human.
Right. We can't forget about the emergence of meta-humanity, can we? Elves, trolls, orcs, all walking among us.
And let me tell you, that's caused quite a stir. Imagine waking up one day and your new neighbors are, well, not exactly from around here.
Talk about a culture shock, right? But that's Shadowrun in a nutshell, isn't it? This collision of worlds, of magic and technology, of ancient powers and corporate greed, it makes for one heck of a story.
And we're just getting started.
It's like someone hit the reset button on civilization, you know? And in the scramble to pick up the pieces, it's the mega corporations who seem to have come out on top.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about entities like Aztechnology, Renraku, Fuchi. These are the real power players in Shadowrun.
Right. Forget nations, forget governments. These guys are running the show.
They've got their fingers in everything, resources, information, even the food supply. It all traces back to them.
It's like they wrote the new rule book. And trust me, it doesn't favor the little guy.
Not one bit. And they enforce those rules ruthlessly.
Oh, yeah. Like in Into the Shadows, when those runners get caught in the crossfire of a corporate turf war. Not pretty.
No kidding. It's a harsh reminder that in their eyes, everyone's expendable. But here's the thing, it's not always clear what they're after.
Right. You mean besides the obvious profit motive?
Exactly. Yeah, they want to make money, but it goes deeper than that. Power struggles, ancient grudges, secret agendas you wouldn't believe. It's a game of shadows within shadows.
And trying to stay one step ahead of those shadows are the Shadowrunners themselves. Which, now that I think about it, technology plays a huge role in all this, right? This is cyberpunk, after all.
Oh, absolutely. We're not just talking fancy gadgets here. Technology in Shadowrun is woven into the fabric of society. Cyberware, bioengineering, and of course, the Matrix.
Okay, the Matrix. Now that's a whole other beast altogether, isn't it? It's more than just the internet, right?
Way more. Think of it as a separate reality, a digital mirror of the physical world. But just like its real-world counterpart, the Matrix has its own rules, its own dangers, its own power players.
And those power players would be the Deckers, right? The digital cowboys like Jack from Into the Shadows. They're the ones pulling the strings in cyberspace.
Exactly. Deckers are essential in Shadowrun. Information is king, and these guys and gals, they know how to find it, manipulate it, even use it as a weapon.
Right. It's like they can make things happen in the real world without ever leaving their computer terminals.
Pretty much. Corporate espionage, data theft, sabotage, you name it. If it exists in the Matrix, a skilled Decker can get to it. And believe me, in a world drowning in secrets, that makes them incredibly valuable. But let's not forget about the physical side of tech, too.
You mean the cyberware? It's everywhere in these novels. People upgrading their bodies like it's just another fashion statement.
Well, In a way, it is. You can enhance your strength, speed, senses, replace lost limbs, boost your reflexes, interface directly with machines.
Sounds tempting, actually. But I'm guessing it's not without its downsides.
Oh, definitely not. The more you enhance, the more you push the boundaries of what it means to be human.
Right, like Burnout and Clockwork Asylum, all that cyberware, but at what cost?
Exactly. It makes you question, where does the human end and the machine begin? And is that a line we even want to cross?
It's a bit of a head trip when you really think about it. All this tech, all this magic, it's like the very definition of what it means to be human is up for grabs.
Isn't it? And that's what makes Shadowrun so compelling, I think. This constant tension between the old and the new, the natural and the artificial, the human and the, well, everything else.
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, you've got dragons waking up from millennia-long naps, and on the other hand, you've got AI that could probably write its own epic fantasy novels.
And probably already has, knowing the Matrix. But seriously, it's this collision of extremes of ancient power and cutting-edge tech that defines the setting.
For sure. And caught in the middle of it all are the Shadowrunners, just trying to make a living, trying to carve out a little piece of this crazy world for themselves.
And they have to be resourceful, right? Because, let's face it, the mega corporations, they're the ones holding all the cards.
No doubt about it. They've got the money, the influence, the firepower. It's easy to feel like, in this world, individuals don't really stand a chance.
Well, that's where the Shadowrunners come in, don't they? Because as powerful as the megacore are, they still need people who can operate outside the system, people who can get things done quietly, discreetly, no questions asked.
But doesn't that just make them pawns in the corporation's games?
Sometimes, sure, but they're also wild cards. They have their own codes, their own loyalties, their own lines they won't cross, at least most of the time.
So there's still room for, like, individual choice in all this, for making a difference, even in a world where the megacore seem to control everything.
Absolutely, and that's what these first 9 Shadowrun novels really highlight, I think. That even in a world as dark and gritty as this one, even with magic running wild and corporations calling all the shots, there's still hope.
There's still a chance to fight back, to make your own luck, to maybe even change things for the better.
Exactly.
Well, listeners, we've taken you on a whirlwind tour of the Shadowrun universe, exploring its gritty streets, its digital battlefields, and the delicate balance between magic and technology that defines it.
We've met unforgettable characters, from street-level runners to high-powered execs, each with their own motivations, their own secrets, and their own part to play in this ever-evolving world.
But as we've seen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are countless stories waiting to be told, mysteries to unravel, and shadows to explore in this endlessly fascinating universe.
So if this deep dive has piqued your curiosity even a little, I encourage you to seek out these novels, delve into the lore, and discover the magic and mayhem of Shadowrun for yourself.
And who knows, maybe you'll even find yourself inspired to create your own stories in this world of endless possibilities. Until next time, keep it Shadowrun.